Good morning. Today we want to talk about Canvas best practice number 2, creating a welcoming and informative homepage. The homepage acts as your virtual greeting at the door. We encourage you to strike a balance between keeping it simple so that it's easy to navigate and providing the most important information for students and families. So we would recommend having a banner image that visually welcomes people in, your course name, the teacher name, and a welcome message. You might also include your contact information, so that's really easy for students and families to find, including your email and perhaps your classroom phone number. And then you can include some linked buttons, but try to keep them as minimal as possible so that it's easy for students to figure out which one they need the most. And of course, we would encourage the absent button, which we'll talk more about next week, as well as the current unit of study and perhaps some course resources. And here's some examples from Canvas. So it has, you would have the homepage, your course title, an image, and then this is more of an elementary example. 3 simple image-based buttons: learn, help, and parents. And then more of a secondary example, very similar, but with buttons instead that say about your teacher, class resources, and learning modules. So how do you even begin to do this? So I would first recommend going to Commons. And when you enter Commons, you'll see that there's some P-CCS course templates that include a lot of different pages and module setup, as well as home pages and buttons that you can use. So I'd encourage you to start there. And then you can also just type in homepage. You do get different results, whether you put a space or not a space. And then you can be as specific as you want to be. So you can say elementary homepage, or you can say math homepage, depending on what you teach. And you'll see a lot of things that come up. You can filter by most relevant or most downloaded, most favorited. And so when you find one that you like, I'm going to select this one. It's keeping it pretty simple for now. And then you would just click. So this one just has a welcome, that teacher information right away, and then just 2 buttons. So if it was something that you liked, you could click import, download, and then you could select the course that you want to import it into. So once you've done that, you might have some editing that you need to do. So I'm going to go into my courses. I'm going to go into my sandbox. And I first want to mention what you'll need to do in order to make it your homepage. So a few things need to be true. So let's start off. See, I'm actually at my homepage. It might look a little different for you. And because it's going to default to modules. But you can click over here, choose homepage. And I have selected pages front page. And I can change it to be something else, a different page. But this would be our suggestion, that the homepage be the pages front page. And it may be grayed out if you haven't yet set that page. So I could click save for now, and just keep in mind here at pages, when you go over to your pages, we can see this is set as my front page. But if I wanted to change it, I could go into view all pages. And let's say I wanted this 3 to 5 homepage to be my page. I could click on these 3 dots on the right of my screen, and I could click use as front page. Okay, so you want to make the page or import it, click use as front page so that it is set. Mine's probably way down here. I've got a lot here. See, and it's indicated that it's the front page. All right, and again, maybe I want to change over to this one. So I can choose use as front page, and now that has changed. And there's just slight differences there. So if I go back home in that course, now there's a different image, really is the main change that takes place. All right, so now I've set the home page. Now you might wonder, how do I make all of these buttons the exact same size? So let's edit and take a look at some tips and tricks for that. So I scroll down here, and this is somewhat of a newer trick or feature. You can click on image options and you can see there's a custom, all right, and it's set to 205 to 175. And then I can also change it to just be small, medium, large, extra large. Image options, same thing here. Notice that there is an alt text, which is helpful for screen readers. All right, and they're all set to be 205 to 175. All right, so let's say I have some additional buttons I need, or I just want to change these buttons. I want a different style, whatever the case may be. So the other tip I have is to use Canva. So this summer, our district integrated Canva with Canvas. I know that can be a little confusing. And it basically means that Canva, which is a graphic design tool, is going to automatically grab your P-CCS credentials and give you a free premium educator account. And that's true for your students as well. So I'd encourage you to take a look at the teacher onboarding guide, because it's going to give you some information about how to log in, whether you do or do not already have a Canva for Education account, so that you can maintain your designs from your other account. So going in here, you'll see it's really nice. When you start typing in Canvas, you'll have Canvas banner and Canvas button come up right away. So when I type Canvas button, I see all these different examples, and I can just change the image and change the text as I go. So I've already created a few, but let's say this is the one that I liked. It's going to allow me to make the edits that I need, changing the image, changing the text. And then once I do that, I can make a copy. Well, I can download it, and I can also say file and make a copy in order to make my next version. Okay, so I've already done that. So I'm going to go into my page now. I'm going to make a new table so I can have them nice and lined up. So, and that's especially helpful if you're going to go into 2 rows of buttons. So I'm going to select a 3x1 table, and I'm going to select it all so that it is centered. And I'm going to upload these images. So I'm going to add an image, upload the image, and I'm going to go to my downloads here. So I've got my class resources button. Notice you can also search Unsplash in order to get an image that you want. Make sure you type in resources link, some alt text for screen readers, submit, and that'll show up. Now I want my next one. I'm going to upload an image. Current module, it's my 3rd button. Type in some alt text, and my final one, my absent button, and submit. So a few things I want to do with my table. First, perhaps I want to go to image options, and I just want to make it smaller. I don't like how large it is, so I'm going to make it small. Image options, small. Or I can also do that custom size. I'm going to just go with small. and it's going to automatically do that for me. Now I want to select my table and go to some table properties. So here are a few tricks. I want to erase this width that is keeping them separated so much. For cell spacing, I'm just going to keep it real small, and cell padding as well. And then for border width, since I don't want it to look like there's a table there, I'm going to say 0. And I'm going to click save and see how that looks. All right, that looks pretty good. But the only thing I want to change, table properties, once again, I want this table to be centered on the page. All right, now that looks quite good here as far as looks go, but now I need to link the content. And the problem a lot of people have run into, especially if they've copied from another course, is that those links on the home page link somewhere else to a different course or to a page that doesn't exist yet in this course. So you want to click on your button, select the link icon and course links. And I need to link to a specific module, the one we're on right now. So let's say it's January 25th through the 29th. I select that. I saw a little yellow flash that indicates that's on there. And then my absent button, this is going to link to a certain page. So I'm going to click on the links, say external. Oh, I don't want an external links. Sorry, I want course links. And it's a specific page. And I haven't yet brought that page in yet. So let's just pretend that this is my absent page. So I'm going to click on it and it's going to link there. And then if I had a class resources page, I would go ahead and link that. I'll click save. And double check that my links are working here that I just set up. So if I click on current module, see, I've just got a little bit of spacing there. If I wanted more spacing, I could go back in and edit the table, the cell padding and spacing I could take a look at and play around with it. So it brings me to my modules page. I have to have an extra little bit more dose of patience, and it brings me to the January through 25th through 29th module. So that link works from my homepage. Briefly, I just want to go back to the homepage. We've talked about setting the homepage. We've talked about grabbing some homepage templates and using tables to help keep things lined up, as well as any image links. And the final thing I want to point out is just going back to that new Canva integration. If I click on edit, wherever you are in Canvas and the rich content editor is available, which is pretty much everywhere, when you click on this apps icon, the little plug icon, you can see that selection now for Canva for education. Or if it's not there yet for you, you can click view all, and that's going to help link up your Canva for education account, and you'll be able to grab any designs that you've already made or even start a design right from within here, and it will link in for you. Clicking save. Hopefully that helps you get started on creating that welcoming, informative homepage. Please reach out if you have any questions.